Now I can officially welcome you to Everyday Heroes. I am your GM, or as it was brought up, I believe it was last week, an awesome term for that for the theme of this game is director. So I'm your director, Matt. We currently have three of our four players. Hopefully, Celtic can make it here tonight for our grand conclusion. If not, then Dr. Isabel Kent will be on Unseen Pilot, which is autopilot. Just, a little fun take on it. Thank you all for showing up. So a howdy out to each of you. I would normally go through the list, but we got to make sure that we keep things moving because I want to make sure that we have enough time to get into what might be the inevitable tussle to come. I'll give a story recap when we bring that part up, but for right now, we have our weekly tradition of being at least halfway decent to each other as human beings, and saying hello. Firm, dry, 3-second handshakes all the way around. So we don't have Celtic Lady here. I hope that she's doing well, but. This time we'll start from the inside out. We'll go to Kincaid, then Fragment, then Bernard, or if we would rather speak as us out of character, we have plenty of in character time ahead. Sierra Echo, who's piloting Kincaid. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I got my box in from the BattleTech Kickstarter, so looking forward to rolling around in tiny robots after the game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm waiting on mine, but I think because I had a large order, they're doing all the small ones first. So I'm glad that you have it. I hope it's everything that you want. I will say this: if this possibly gets you to go, oh whoa, what's this? I think for whatever the future holds for the channel, I still like presenting little three-parters and teaching systems like this. So I think doing a three-parter for Destiny, which is one of their, which is a Mech Warrior RPG tabletop, I think that would be fun, and I think it would be fun to put some mechs out on the field. Maybe we could actually have like a vinyl mat out, and we could pew pew shoot them up that way. So I'm glad you got your stuff in. That just further inspires me to do something with big stompy robots and some Bortle Tonk. I'm sorry I interrupted you. It was just that sort of a burning desire that I had to express myself.
I think everybody has a burning desire for more stompy robots.
Then I look forward to whether there's a big stompy robot or not involved in tonight's session. There's only one way to find out, and we'll take a step forward in that process of discovery by taking one step here to the left over to Night Mage, who is piloting John Calendar, aka Fragment. If you are in the know, if you keep up with hacker culture, how you doing, Night Mage? What's going on?
Doing pretty good. Not a whole lot has changed since the last time. I'm still just waiting on school to start up, which is next month, and then setting up my own little one-shots for little known systems. The next one that I want to do is Only War, which is kind of like the offshoot of more well-known Inquisition or Rogue Trader, Dark Heresy, and it's where you play as Imperial Guardsmen. So if you want to see or are interested in things like that, you can sign up at startplaying.games. There's a link in Maddie's Discord in the Hire GMs for Hire, I believe the section is called. And I try and do one of those a week.
I firmly believe in trying to be this platform. We're all here to help each other out as a rising tide lifts all ships. And I enjoy doing business with people who do business with me. And if I can offer a business, that's the very least I can do. So go support a fellow community member of the Hero Zone and have some fun in the process. Maybe you'll learn a new system, or you've played 40K in the traditional war game fashion. but you've never tried it in a role-playing game, which, if I recall correctly, it still sticks to the percentile system, right? Yeah.
Sure does. It is brutal. Prepare with many backup characters.
Yes. Oh. Yep. Then go give Night Mage a look and challenge yourselves, everyone, to have fun and to step out and to try something new. In fact, that's part of the point of Apples to Oranges. It's a familiar. Many of us are already familiar with D&D 5e. This system has some of its own unique mechanics, but this is still a challenge in itself to approach something familiar in a different way. So get out there and do it, and in the process, meet new people and enjoy yourselves. Let's bop over then from Night Mage over to Big Slam, who is piloting Bernard. And for either of you, what's happening? What's going on? It's good to have you back.
It is good to be back. I'm actually quite excited because this past weekend, I am now officially a scare actor again.
Yeah, you got it. All right. I think you said last time that you had put in your application, and I'm glad that they've accepted you.
Oh yeah.
Do you know the type of characters you'll be dressing up or putting on prosthetics and stuff for?
No, not quite yet. We still got to do our basically our acting classes, and I'll go through the whole shtick and everything.
All right.
But over that Friday and Saturday in September, every night in October, of course, and then the first weekend of November, because I don't think October ends on a Sunday, so. But yeah, I'm really excited because, like I said in the chat previously, I've been a scare actor for the better part of 12 years now, and yeah, it's kind of in my blood now, as you can kind of. There we go.
Oh yeah. You said you're going to show that off. Now, then this could be a good way to transition from this weird IRL stuff that surrounds us all the time into being in character. Besides Bernard here, who you're currently piloting, let's go back to the scare characters. What has been your favorite scare character that you've played?
As you can see on the tattoo, you see the rat skull there. The primary part of the tattoo is a rat skull. In the attraction I worked for last season, which was called Nightmare Factory Blackout, where the attraction is completely pitch black. The only way to make your way through the attraction is to walk along and follow a little rope handrail that's in it. And as you go along, there's these scare windows that, they pop open, and lights flash, and we jump out at you, scream at you, and again, there's a chainsaw there. There's a window where we jump out at you with this chainsaw, and there's a cattle prod. We jump out at you with a cattle prod, and then my favorite part of it is this is a spoiler alert. If you're ever in the central Indiana area and you check out Indy Scream Park, it's in Anderson. We call him Doug. It is a giant, 6-7 foot long rat head. It's a mutated pustules and gnarly and scraggly, and it's all covered in chains and fabric, basically you push a button, it starts gnashing and growling, and the lights flicker and everything. And me being me, I'm 6'3", 300 pounds. I can wheel this thing around and make it move. And um, whenever we would have media or a VIP go through the attraction, the owner would tell my manager to put me on Doug because he liked the way I operated Doug, because I would make it look like it was actually snapping and trying to get at you and moving and following you as you move past and everything. And so, yeah, the Doug animatronic is one of my favorite characters to play as. But for the past couple of seasons, I've always wanted to be a more prominent character out in a area called the Monster Midway. And I've always wanted to either be Mike Myers or Jason Voorhees, because they're bigger dudes and they're in masks. And in the Midway, that's where the food court is, and that's where the beer garden's at, and that's basically the central hub of all. It's basically the attraction's built like a hand. Monster Midway is the palm, and then each of the attractions go out on into the fingers of the uh, estate or whatever. And when you're in the middle, um, uh, in the Monster Midway, there's the more well-known characters, and they roam around in the area, and you can basically photo op characters is what they are, and you can, um, uh, you know, scare the people that are, they're sitting there eating their pizza or whatever, and you can hop out and scare them and take a picture with them, and then
And so you take
just
Doug out there to, or was Doug
oh
away from
no,
the house?
Doug's like he's hanging from a like a thing in the attraction itself. So he's like almost like 500 pounds. He's a big, weighted thing where you can move it and everything. And but yeah, he's stuck in the attraction. But
Well, then this is what we're going to do. I feel rather inspired by your story of Doug the Rat and of the scare attractions that you worked in. And as a part of then getting into our characters here, let's open up. Well, we can have a brief recap, but we're going to have
So it
a
looks
little
like
bit.
Celtic is just getting in, so
We're going to have a little bit of an in media res here, as we have left off with you all having. It was a heck of a time trying to make this beach landing, even though you're piloting Casimir, this all-terrain, this upgraded Humvee-style land shark with a worm system on board. It has 2 light machine guns, a grappling hook, and even a rocket launcher. A suite of things here, but there was a party of interceptors that was trying to at least drive off the boat, if not destroy it. You were able to scare them off, and they did run away after. Well, Casimir took a pretty brutal hit. And it took a little bit of finesse and going around here, but due to the machinations of your machinist, it sounds a lot more evil just calling them machinations. But really, you were just trying to fix up Casimir so he can, limp along. You kind of, it's that equivalent of a humanoid, just kind of like putting his arm around your shoulder and kind of helping him limp and going from there. You have been able to do more than just on this rather dark and stormy night. Just make a beachhead. And the doctor was able to, by determination of the absence of evidence, is certainly not the evidence of absence, because you were, in fact, waylaid by a small assault team. But she believes that they have qualities that make them more impervious or less concerned about actually being shot with the weapons you have because of their undead nature. Whether they're zombies or perhaps even vampires, as that is the theme of the mission you were given by PACTS, Peace and Cooperation Through, which was the agency that had first collected you all from your own specialties and your lives, in order to go on a rescue mission of one Tibba Flowerfield, who was abducted by vampires for some reason and taken somewhere in Lacuna. You were given a general area in your briefing, in your dossier, and this was supposed to be, all right, we're going to go here at night, we're going to start our investigation, and we're going to see if he's actually here. There was a landing party or some sort of interception squad, but they also did rather easily run away, and even after damaging your vehicle. So perhaps suspicious in itself, though. During the repair operation, as we're leaving off here, and let me clear off we're going to clear the drawings. At one point, while Casimir is getting a little bit more TLC, this could very well be beyond the beach, as you're actually heading towards this historically preserved city, one of the founding cities. No one is supposed to live there, but especially in the tension of everything that's been happening in the region. Remember that here in Mesotopia, life is not super peaceful, especially as of late. There have been undead, and in particular vampires, that have been on the rise. There is this weird kind of soft invasion from the north, from the Shadowhar, and if that wasn't making matters worse, there's also the rise of these weird aberrations, things that have been abducting people, especially like gnomes and elves. They don't seem to have a love for the undead either, so it's not like they're working with them if they're to be considered of enemies of the residents, the normal, quote unquote, normal humanoids that live in the Mesotopia region. They have their own interesting niche and have come into conflict with different people, and for hitherto for unknown or unseen reasons. But anyway, so you're here to rescue a wunderkind, a child with particular magics that might actually hold a key to being able to confront effectively these aberrations. The vampires, there are ways to put them down and take care of them. The Shadowhars, as far as anyone knows, they're mortal. Though they do have an interesting take on necromancy. Now, of course, here in our modern age, magic does exist. There are some people who are still intrinsically magic, but there are many other modern conveniences that have gone on to replace or even surpass magic. Since, this is a convenient way to talk, and you don't need to have some sort of special education or skill set or material components beyond a charging cord that you plug into your wall. So it's a very interesting time in terms of, certainly there's a quaint part of history where that is how society had advanced, but we're even beyond that now. Yet this child seems to have a way to confront or conflict, not just with the Shadowhar or the vampires or any other enemies, but also these creatures that have proven to be resistant to magic as it's known. Now, why or how that has made him a valuable target to this group of vampires, well, I suppose that's part of your mission, something for you to discover. But anyway, Casimir was able to limp out of here enough, but at some point, Kincaid, in your professional opinion, Casimir is going to need a little bit more work than just that. And as you are approaching this this old city, in fact, we can even come over to... And Casimir here is looking a little bit different. I thought that this was maybe a little better model for the truck, and we're still keeping the Casimir colors. So you all are traveling from now just a rural area into what would be, I guess, the suburbs, or at least the outlying residential areas of this city, or perhaps now a nest of vampires. And people did live here. The original, some of the original founders of the Mesotopia region, let alone Lacuna as a country itself. And it's a fine place to go scrapping for parts, things that would help Casimir do more than limp along, and have more than just a gaping hole in the side of him. And so, having stopped to try and scrounge some supplies, there was an ambush. There wasn't an attack. Or there was an attack, and in this process, all of you are welcome to put your tokens out onto the field next to Casimir, because I will be putting a token out as well. Let's see, who do I have that might be good for this? I don't know if I just have a generic lurker, but that's fine. Here's one of my vampires from our Vampire the Masquerade game, even. And let's pull Dr. Isabel Kent as well, as she is a part of things too. All right, and then Kincaid, if I can have your token out on the field.
I was just trying to remember how to do that.
If you click on your name, you should just be able to click and pull you out onto the battlefield.
Normally, where you would like double click to open your character sheet, just click once and drag it out. There you go.
All right. So, during this repair time, there's an overwatch that was set up before. You know, you wanted to make sure that the vampires wouldn't come running back. And during this time that you are sort of limping along into the outskirts, where the rain has started to subside, and you can see that the central, like the downtown part of this old city, is lit up, though the outskirts are not. It looks rather abandoned, and in fact, while Kincaid is repairing Casimir, this is something that Dr. Kent can even examine, because even the plant life here has been scoured. There's some sort of a blight across the lands. Bernard, were you staying on Overwatch while Kincaid is repairing Casimir? And I presume, Fragment, you've been driving Casimir this whole time. You're staying there in case anything happens?
I would be outside the driver's door, leaned against the panel.
Got it.
I would be up in the grappling hook uh, seat, and well, standing up in the grappling hook compartment, and I'd have my mag light out, and yeah, I'd be doing Overwatch.
Okay, all right. All right. So then
Celtic Lady is,
what?
Celtic Lady is here if we want to get her.
Oh, all right. Hey. Let's get you copied into the scene. In between weeks, your all's whatever the reference addresses change, so we can. Oh, hey, all right. We got the party back together, everyone.
Did you also mention? Do you still need help with the character sheet?
Yeah, I was trying to open it and it's blank. Like there's nothing there. Is that because someone else has it open and I can't open it too?
Oh, yeah, I have it open. So
Okay.
one moment here. I'll close it on my end. See if you can get into it now. Are the rest of you able to get into your character sheets? I have them all open on my end for reference.
Nope,
But
it's got my name and a blank spot. Where
do you need to along the top? You might need to click over into a different category. See if that's doing it.
Let me go out of Roll20 and back in again and see if that helps.
Okay.
Because there can be like attributes and abilities, bios and info, which is in the window, and then you can click over into character sheet, or maybe you accidentally are in plans and tricks or persona or something.
No, I had it open and then I closed it, and when I tried to open it again, it was gone.
All right, here I'll close it again on my end because we could be doing a weird like who's on first or so kind of we each.
Okay, I got it now. You can open it back up for yourself.
All right, let me make sure then. Yep, and it looks like I can get into it too. I'll pop it out just in case. I keep your all sheets open on my end, and if I do need a quick reference on something or to if there's ever I'm on the fence about something, I would rather lean into something interesting that's a part of your character, because that's why we play these games, is to have characters that exist in worlds and to tell stories that would be compelling to them. All right. So during this pit stop and in scrounging around, you all were able to find some parts in order to. I mean, Casimir won't look the same. He's going to have a pretty gnarly scar. Says the machine doctor. But
the repair is so good, it looks like a completely different vehicle.
There we go. Yeah, you're so thorough here. You're actually making Casimir your own. So let's start with you, Kincaid. I would like you. Now, this is going to be more of a degrees of success. This is something that is going to be within your capabilities of doing. So you utterly failing, it's just he won't look as seamless or nice. And if you do a super duper good job, maybe I can throw in a fun little bonus because you scrounged up something interesting. But I would like you. I would like you to roll a mechanics at disadvantage. And so this is going to be an extreme test of just what you can do. Now, before you roll that, I can put this over in our super secret chat here. Now, unused Fickle God favors, ever since the days of Chroma Company, always fell off if they weren't redeemed after 2 weeks. So there are still some that have floated over since 7 days ago, but the ones from 14 days ago are gone. So right now we have a... I don't know who those went to from Belladonna, because it just says even out the numbers and same. So, I don't know who those are going to, and I don't see I don't see that that's directed to anyone.
Minor said that I had 3, but I'm pretty sure some of those were old and need to fall off.
Yeah. Her comments are kind of vague, though. Now, I can always invoke director's prerogative here, as these are unspecified boons, and I will claim them because it's unfair that you, as the heroes, get to pick on my bad guys as much as you do.
I would be right back.
Well, Wolf Queen Belladonna is feeding me more because I have the least. And she said clearly in chat, whoever has the least. So she is feeding the beast here. Though I think in the spirit of things, they were meant to go to you all as players from last week. So let's see who had ones that were directed. We have Bernard. Bernard has one. Then we have Kincaid had one. Then we had Kent with one. That was from Coffee Cat. Then I'm seeing a Kincaid. Looks like I'm getting some here. There's an agent on the inside of Pacts from Sierra Echo. So we have a more and whoever's the least. So that would be, let's go up to Fragment. Currently has 0, at least that had carried over. So if we are spreading that out, then we go 1, 2, 3, and then I would have the least after more. So then, as of right now, after the agent on the inside throws me one, Fragment has 1, and the rest of us have 2 Fickle God favors. A Fickle God favor can turn a disadvantaged roll into a normal roll, or a normal roll into a roll with advantage. And so, hooray to that. In our super secret chat, you can see how many are there. So anyway, it's still kind of raining. It is kind of dark. You are a skilled engineer. So in this case, Kincaid, show me what you got. This is a mechanics roll at disadvantage, and I would like you to try and beat a DC 13 for this roll.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my Fickle God's favors to bump that up to a normal roll.
Okay.
Because I've got legs next to me holding the flashlight.
Gotcha. All right, edited in super secret. 9. Okay. Well, you didn't fail by 5. So you make progress, and so there's still some dents and scarring. You weren't able to have any sort of interesting new contraption to, I don't know, replace an especially broken part, but it is usable. But you know what? This isn't a beauty contest. You're here on a rescue mission. So Casimir is perfectly serviceable. He just looks kind of messed up.
It's okay, guys. Chicks dig scars.
Then there we go. We have some desert heat in chat then for my Casimir enjoyers, or lowercase t, capital K, Casimir, if you're on Team Casimir.
I'll take one bandage out of my medicine kit and put it over a particularly nasty gouge.
Let's have now we have Bernard, who is on Overwatch here, who is manning the grappling claw. Bernard, same thing. I'm going to give you a DC 13 perception at disadvantage, and let's see how you do. It's still kind of stormy. It is dark. You have your mag light, so there's a lot of gives and takes. Whether you see something or not, like there will be something to see, but how well, how much, or something bonus, that's up to you.
Yeah, I think I too will roll with Fickle's God's favor.
Very well. Then let's edit this message again, and Bernard goes down to 1.
Oof.
Oh, no.
All right. So it's not that you don't see anything. Maybe for a moment, it's more you look down and you see that this grappling claw, something unique, is made of some sturdy stuff. It appears to be made of some sort of like a purplish metal, some sort of a very strong metal. Even the cable has this kind of purple tone to it, to the steel. So maybe you're caught up in the moment of like, oh, just wait, I can't wait to fire this, and there'll just be this big purple like claw that opens up and is just launched out with this big purple trailing coil behind it, going to grab something. So I don't know, Bernard, you're it's a fun form of ranged melee. And you are enraptured by the worm system. I guess in this case, it's a purple worm system.
No.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So Bernard himself can concur that chicks do dig scars.
Ooh. Well, if you survive this mission, maybe we can go lift a cup together, and you can tell us all about that. As we come over then to, Fragment here, are you? You're by the door. Is this you keeping an eye out during this pit stop to scavenge parts, or is there something? Are you fiddling around looking for signals on something? Are you trying to repair something? Also, are you? What are you doing here?
Fragment's using the excuse of checking out the software system. He's got the laptop like plugged into the dashboard, and the laptop's resting on like the hood of the vehicle, and like he's halfway like trying to make sure that all the systems on the software side of things are okay, but he's also half-assedly trying to wrestle this little spider thing, with the mouse and some other programs, like trying to get it onto a drive and absolutely failing at this.
All right.
I assume it's just like it's jumping over the mouse or whatever program or window he opens up, it like eventually finds a way out.
Let me take a look at something here. I would like you to make an insight check, DC 13, but also at disadvantage. And from this, as this is more, this isn't going to be so much a matter of your intelligence, your capabilities of programming or doing things actively with your brain. This is more of a behavioral circumstance.
Gonna hold 5.
All right. Well,
I
at
think we
least
need some new dice
the
here.
Sand Dog Millionaires are consistent so far by not breaking 10
I'd like
on
to
a skill
feel fun.
check. And the party is sticking together, and what DM, GM, ST, or director wouldn't ask for more? All right. You still are getting information from this interaction. Because you're not especially stressed over it. You have time. It's just degrees of success or kind of a degree of failure. But I can tell you this in that the times that you have seen that face pop up, it's not just like a jump scare in a video game or a weird like screensaver image. There's even a time when the eyes shift over, when the eyes shift over to the left. So like it'll pop up and look you directly in the eyes, and there's a feeling, not a connection like boop, 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 like a USB sort of connection, but that there's there's an intelligence in the eyes, that this is not just a PNG or something or whatever. And as the eyes shift, and there's some kind of a communication that's happening. What it's communicating is beyond you, but beyond the fact that the little bug in the system, it's still kind of playing around with the cursor and not kind of interacting, or at least you'll move it close and it'll take one of its little bug legs and actually shove it aside. It's not moving your finger, but in the system, it's, hey, get that away from me. But this face also that comes up, there's something else to it. Looks to the side, but that's about as far as that goes. But you do have this feeling that this, whether the face is an expression of the bug or the other way around, there is an intelligence to it, and not just an intelligence, but an emotion. There's purpose. You're not getting facts, but you are getting feelings through it. However you interpret it, I'm going to leave that up to John. But there you go. That's your fun little bit. Now, as we come over to Dr. Kent, in our warm up and our bit of an in media res here, you have noticed that the plant life is gone from here. Things, while this part of Lacuna, it should be a lot more vegetative, and this is perhaps catching your interest because of what's happening in Uct with the study of the trees, or what's happening to plants, or the fact that there are plans to, you can't have flesh trees if there's no trees. So developing some sort of like a napalm, or just this, if we have to, we will destroy the ground around us to keep these aberrations from like merging with it, or whatever, consuming it.
Does it look like the vegetation has been like burned or forcibly removed?
I would like you to make a natural sciences roll at disadvantage. Right. Same as the others, you get a DC 13. If you want to spend a Fickle God favor, you may. Real quick though, did Fragment spend a Fickle God or no? Oh, he got up. I'm sorry. Okay.
I did not.
Oh, you did. Okay, all right.
I used the roll with disadvantage. Okay, sorry.
Okay, got it. All right.
I actually would like to use the Fickle God's favor on this.
Understood. All right, so it's a normal roll for you?
Oh, how about a 22?
Oh, here we go. Man, just someone had to break the party. And of course, every time you break the party, that's when ninjas attack. And or in this case, you'll actually get a good degree of extra information. As I was looking for a 13, and I was measuring some degrees of success here. In this downtime, while everyone is doing their thing, and you're looking around, someone has enacted that theory. Now, this could be uncomfortably close to the scorched earth policy as an absolute backup to preventing the spread of this. If there's no flesh, it can't assimilate flesh. If there's no plants, it can't assimilate plants or the like. It can't be converted. It can't be turned into something else. It can't be combined in some way. And a lot of the destruction of things that have happened here has been recent, in your opinion. The plant life has been not even burned, though. It's as if the life force of it was just removed. The grass isn't burnt; it is dead. There's really no signs of life here anymore.
And how far does it look like this particular devastation goes? Is it as far as I can see, or is it one limited patch? What's the is it like that all over?
It wasn't on the beach, as there was still seaweed, or one of you thought you saw a cactus on the beach. Turns out it was not a cactus, but presumably, like there was plant life there. But as you've been getting closer to this supposedly, abandoned, like a relic city museum, where in your dossier the vampires are presumably using that as a base of operations. It'd sort of be like in our real world, using the catacombs under Paris is like, oh, we're undead, and like it's there, it's a real part, it's not used, it's kind of an ongoing museum as a part of history. That's what this city, and especially there's like one tower, a very large tower in it, that is presumably where the base is here in Najasim. And it's starting here on the outskirts, what would be the suburb of this kind of colonial starting out city. A lot of now there are signs of houses that have been burnt and otherwise destroyed, but the plant life here, in your opinion, something has just like sucked the life. Like a blight has been upon this place.
Somebody did a vampirism except for plants.
Yes. And while you are out investigating this and you're looking at things, you're drawing upon your sciences, there is someone who comes lunging out of the dark at you. And one moment while I bring this up.
It's not going to be good. I have no fighting skill whatsoever. How do I tell what my equivalent of an armor class is?
That's your defense.
I'm not seeing a defense number anywhere.
It's between your proficiency bonus and your initiative.
I don't have a number there.
Let me take a look at your sheet real quick.
Yeah,
Oh, all right. So
Smart heroes get no bonus to our defense at this level.
But
All
I
right.
don't know what that number is.
So it's just going to be 10 plus what, int?
Yeah, that would be +3 then.
All right, so your defense is 13.
Okay. So that's a miss. Thank God.
All right. So you are leapt upon, and there's a very bedraggled looking person that comes out and is feral, like gnashing, and looks emaciated, looks very starved in his own way here. And you are able to maybe this is a coming forward and isn't prone, but sort of stumbles, and as you look up from the dead plants and the soil, whatever that you're taking a look at, whoa, and you're able to take a step back as he would lunge forward and try to go for you. This is a person who is not dressed in military or paramilitary attire. I guess normal clothes, quote unquote, would be the adequate way to describe it. That was my surprise round. I got to roll advantage, but I have a very sickly character here who was unable to do this. So now let's roll into our initiative, as your party on the side of the road here is
It's about average for me.
Oh, I got double digits on a roll.
Yay!
Man, look at this
Right.
tryhard over here. Oh my god. There we go. See? Man, everyone... There's always one person on the team who has to just be better than everyone else and break double digits.
We need that. Hello. I'm about to die.
I'm going to add a certain
We'll pick up the
something to
pieces.
this. All right. Kincaid, you are on the exterior of Casimir. At this point in your estimation, he's serviceable. He might look a little messed up, but he's still good. You give him that good game slap on the rear bumper, and you hear the "aye," and this is where our initiative will start. As in the dark, we can say that that Bernard, who has his mag light out, or at least maybe Casimir here, has his headlights on. Whatever his, we can make some pun or equivalent on like low light vision beams or something. His dark vision beams, which is just light. Those are on, so you're catching in that light that there's a figure that's sort of like shambled, maybe was crawling over the barren terrain here, and leapt up and startled Dr. Kent. What are you doing in this moment? Legs is out and was helping, so Legs is deployed.
Okay, so I think me and Legs are gonna... These squares, are they 5 feet or 10?
5 feet.
Oh, okay. So Legs and I are going to move out this way, and remembering the random attacker that hit me up in the gym parking lot, I'm just going to open fire. I'm going to return fire first. Order Legs to return fire.
Okay.
And to shoot the shambling form. Just not sinking or... Okay, so that is a 12.
All right. Pew. The shot. The shot goes slightly wide as this kind of shambling creature makes a stagger in the lunge, and your shot does not connect with it.
Okay, I'll use my bonus action to tell Legs to fire again. Hit it this time. So that's an ugly 20.
All right. Oh, hit it this time. Last time I just followed orders and shot. You said nothing on hit, to be fair. All right. So that will hit. Do you have a? If you press your attack, will that attack for you in chat? I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind the manual rolls, but
it doesn't seem to be working for me.
Oh, okay. That's fine, because a roll's a roll. I didn't know if it would be more convenient to do it that way, though.
So that is 7 points of damage.
Okay. So, in this case, while we've gone over the concept of hit points and what it could be,
Sure.
luck running out, blah, blah, blah. In this case, I will say your bullet does impact this character. So you get kind of that kind of a jerk back, but there's no reaction to being shot as you would expect someone to have, such as ouch or ah, or even clutching the wound. So you are getting a kind of a gym flashback in that instance.
Are you seeing this, Doc?
Yep, that's what I was afraid of. We're dealing with the undead.
And
suggestions on dealing with the undead?
Burn it! Burn it with fire. Lots of it.
Okay, well, we will see what we can do in the way of fire.
All right, I am going to get a multi-attack here as my ravening undead is going to try and bite. Pardon me. Is going to try and bite the doctor, and it looks like I do succeed.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
And
At least one of them.
we're going to roll.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
All right, you're going to take 12 points of piercing damage as it bites you, Dr. Kent.
Yikes! 12.
Yes.
All right, I stagger back and fall down, clutching the bite wound, and basically almost tore my entire arm off. I have 2 hit points left.
Now, 2 other things are going to happen. One, your maximum hit point total is reduced by half the damage you took. And
So
2, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, hang on. So my max is now 6 less.
Yes.
Okay, and I need to make a con save. Oh, this is not going to be pretty.
How do you have such a low health pool?
Because I'm a smart kid, I'm not one of the toughy toughs.
Oh man.
I have no armor or anything. That's a 5. I failed.
All right. Okay. The nothing apparent comes with that Constitution save, but I'm going to tell you, Doctor, you have been bitten by a vampire. You have a pretty strong feeling of what could happen because of that.
I've seen what happened to my friend. Yeah.
So, whether or not you choose to disclose the fact that you may very well be a carrier for vampirism, or the effects, the lingering effects it can have, I'm going to leave that up to you.
I haven't had a turn yet.
But my turn is over. My shambler bit, and we now go. Let's see. So the initiative order is Kincaid, Vampire, and then we go Dr. Kent, then Bernard, then Fragment.
Okay. With the first aid kit, that doesn't give me any hit points back, does it? It just basically I can stabilize the wound.
There might be a feat or something that would allow that. I don't know offhand if the kit does. You'd have to reference the gear that you have on your character.
I have it written down, but I don't. I'd have to go look at the compendium.
Now, you are still in melee combat as a heads up, too. So bear that in mind for anything you do as an action or for your movement.
All right. Before I do anything else, is there a thing in this version of like evasive action or trying to withdraw without provoking?
Yeah,
an attack?
like in 5e, you can disengage,
Okay.
and then you can move
That-
away.
So disengage would be my action, and then I could move, and then
Yeah.
I have like a bonus action. Yeah, I got to do it. I'm only at 2 hit points. I
Okay.
gotta disengage and run away.
All right, move your token to where you're moving.
I can't move it. I would like to go here.
Here, let me try this then. Maybe it's because I drug the token out. Go ahead and drag your token back out to the original spot, and then you should hopefully be able to move it.
Hang on a second. I think I have to do that from the program. Okay. Info. Huh.
You should be able to do it if you go over to where everyone's character sheets are. If you click and drag off of that list and then drag out onto the map, that should put a token down.
Nope, it's not letting me grab it. I had this problem last time.
Wonder why.
Your character sheet popped out. That can cause some weirdness with Roll20.
I turned it off and opened it in the program.
Here, let me try, because I have it open on my end. Try again. I closed your character sheet on my end. See if that does it for you.
Nope. Nope, I can't grab it off the list.
So that should be...
And the only character I see on the list is mine.
Can be edited. You should be able to control the token.
I don't even see where I can grab the token. I'd like... Oh, there we go. Okay, it was
Okay, there you go. All right. So you were starting right here, diagonally adjacent to the vampire, right here.
Right here. Yeah.
And then,
So,
yep. So you're disengaging, and then you can move up to 30 feet away.
15, 20, 25, 30.
All right.
I don't believe I have any bonus type actions because everything else is also an action that I can.
All right. Now let me double check something on the prior map. All right. So we had it was Casimir's right side was the worm system. And where are we here? Okay, so this is the right side. So Bernard, the worm system would be on this side, where the grappling hook would be. I mean, it's not that huge of a difference. But as we come over to you, Bernard, what are you doing? There's been this attack, and it's your initiative.
Yeah, he goes full Bo Duke. He throws his legs over. He hops out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Okay.
And, yeah, he will go hambone with his maglite.
Got it. Roll it.
I never made a weapon sheet for his maglite, so I'm just gonna roll my brass knuckles.
Yep, that's fine. That's probably equivalent damage anyway, and you can use improvised weapons, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Then just roll your brass knuckles as your maglite.
Okay.
Okay, that does hit.
Nice.
And you deal some pretty good damage here to this character. Let's see, that was 9, and then I took 5. Oh, was there anything on Legs' shot besides the 5, or was it just a straight 5?
That was just straight 5.
Okay. Okay.
Well, it was a straight 7 because it adds 2 for my int modifier.
Okay. All right, so I've taken 16 so far. Oh, you know what? Haha, let's do this. I've taken 16. Now there's a 16 there. You come and just crack right across, and it indents the skull. And
Yeah, and as he gets thwacked upside the head, he gets moved 5 feet. As I have brute.
oh, all right. And Right there?
moving.
Got it. So you just go, bam! Goes for a twirl, and so you can see, like, on the side you hit, because for that moment, you know, you come through that follow through, you're holding the mag light, you know, facing forward this way, and you can see that you've stoved in a part of this guy's skull. If this was a living person, then he should not still be standing. Clearly he's not. There's something very wrong, and it makes you feel a little sick to your stomach to see this.
That boy ain't right.
Fragment, or unless, I'm sorry, does Bernard have anything else to do?
Not unless I can make like a bonus action second attack. That's it.
Similar to 5e, there's some weapons that you can make an offhand attack, but I wouldn't believe a mag light would be one of those.
Okay. Then yeah, that's
Okay. Fragment.
That's
Dr. Kent runs past you, and you see this taking place. What are you doing?
So Fragment is doing what Fragment does best. I'm going to spend a genius, and as a bonus action, I'm going to do my homework.
Okay.
So, having previously studied your opponent's online profile, I'm going to flavor this as basically like whipping out my phone and taking a video of this thing and uploading it into my combat AI.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
You can enact this plan as a bonus action to know an opponent's weakness. Choose one target you can see and apply one of the following effects. As a level 3, I get to apply 2 effects. And I'm going to pick Best Defense and Weak Spot. The target has disadvantage on attack rolls against you, and with Weak Spot, you have advantage on attack rolls against the target.
Oh.
You need to make an intelligence save with a DC of 13.
Okay, that's kind of gross on my end.
Undead with their heads stoved in, famously good on intelligence checks.
Right.
Famously, just look at that 3. 3 is absolutely a number that exists.
Now you're rolling like the rest of us, Matty.
Yeah, I'm a team player, unlike some of you.
I mean, you do have some Fickle God's favors saved off, so you don't have to keep the 3.
I don't have to, but I'm not going to be baited into using it too early.
Now John's going to reach into the small of his back where his concealed 9mm is at. And he's going to step just a little bit past the front of the Casimir here.
Okay.
And I have the Gunfighter talent, or feat. And it says that, 1, I don't suffer disadvantage for attacking against an adjacent opponent. That doesn't matter here. But what does bonus... Oh, you know what? I need to take a bonus action, which I already used. So never mind. I don't have this feature right now.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pop off one shot with this 9mm.
For lol random reasons, I also need you to roll 1d20 for me.
I got 4 on that.
Got it. Lol, so random. Nothing happens. All right. So a 21 will absolutely hit. For 9. All right. Where were you aiming? Were you going like center mass? Were you looking to take out a kneecap?
Good old-fashioned center mass.
Okay. That doesn't clutch, but just you get that kind of like, and the character crumples like onto his knees, and then just falls back, and is not moving. We come back around to the top of initiative. So Kincaid, I have not had a chance to go, but you see this happening. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna have Legs take another couple shots at this guy, and then move back towards Kaz there.
All
Rule
right.
number 2 of Zombieland.
Roll
Double
the
tap.
double tap and move your character then.
So is this at disadvantage because he's prone, or is that just a 5e?
I believe this would still be the same because he's prone. As a one-time either rule of cool or comedic effect, because Legs is just a short little guy and we got a crumpled vampire, I'm going to say that you just roll this straight up. Plus, Legs wants to appease you for he took you very literally the first time, and it.
Okay, so the first one hits.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and roll damage in. So pop, pop.
Or 7.
The bullet impacts the body, and it moves with the impact. And then go ahead and move Kincaid. Okay. Are you staying outside of Casimir?
Yeah, I will stay outside of Casimir and say, hey, Doc, can you go check and make sure he's dead?
It is my turn in initiative next, and nothing apparently happens, and so now it is the doctor's turn. Doc Kent, what would you like to do?
Yeah. So, first thing I want to do is bandage myself up, but it's not going to give me any hit points, but I want to see if I can use one of my things. I have the cure.
Okay.
Now it doesn't say that it's for this particular thing, but can I flavor trying to get the vampirism toxin out of my blood and with the first aid kit and the skill combined?
If you have something that can ameliorate a disease, yes. Otherwise, we can narrate that you're trying to... you're trying things, but mechanically, no.
Okay, then I have another thing. Take a look real quick. Where'd it go? With the first aid kit, I was reading that I can use it to try and... Oh, never mind. It's poisoning or drugs, which is neither of these things. All right, then I'll just take the first aid kit and wrap myself up where they bit me real good.
All right.
And then that's my action, I guess. Are we still in a turn phase of 6 seconds?
For right now, yes.
Okay, then I'd like to walk back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm trying to get back to the body and so I can...
Okay. Bernard, then Fragment.
Yeah, I immediately draw my 38 and go into a defensive position, and if it so much as moves, it's getting popped in the head as best as I can.
Okay. Fragment.
So John's actually gonna kind of turn and sweep and keep his aim. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing here. Keep his aim kind of looking this way now, since they have that solo person on the ground.
All right. 1 second. Apparently, people love me tonight for some reason. I'm going to add a Pickle God favor to me in chat. All right. We come back around to the top. Kincaid, are you still standing by Casimir?
Yeah, I will stay standing by Casimir. And would I know anything about vampires? Is their presence and how do you become a vampire widely known, or is it just legends at this point?
I'm sure that there's all kinds of rumors about it. let's see. You have streetwise, insight, endurance, deception. While this wouldn't have been a part of your training, I'm sure living out on the street, you hear things, you've picked things up. So this isn't an action, but go ahead and roll a streetwise, and we'll see how much that you might know without any further questions or research. There you go, good old tryhard Kincaid.
Yeah, filthiest 20s.
All right.
Take it.
Yeah. So you've picked up maybe from agents of your organization, or word on the street from people, or people who've just been going to the gym and are talking about like, oh, dude, bro, dude, bro, and you're able to translate that into them talking about vampires and having, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to, not have to do whatever, it's an all protein diet, and but with that, yeah, you would have picked up that they're able to make more of themselves, not even just through training, that there are some that employ types of magic to be able to control people, or that especially vampirism can be spread through their bites.
Okay, and I'm going to lean down to legs and just say, keep an eye on Dr. Kent. If she starts going all fangy, we may need to put her down.
Roger. Was that quiet? Are you trying to keep that between the two of you?
It was a very loud whisper.
Okay. So you're not shouting it out from the highest mountain, but you're also not trying to be discreet about it.
No, I don't have much in the charisma, so trying to be sneaky about it is counterproductive, I think.
Sure.
I also want Dr. Kent to know that we know.
Okay. As we come back over to my guy here, Bernard, this might be the chance you're waiting for, because the body starts twitching, especially at the head. Like, the head just starts, like, rolling and just kind of, like, it's like we're actually in a wasteland in a Bethesda game, and you just actually killed someone, and they're starting to, like, clip through the floor and just, like, jitter, even though they've been in ragdoll physics for a while. The body is just going, like, it is starting to jitter, and the head is just going back and forth.
Yeah. Is there... I know I'm already probably going to make this attack at disadvantage, so because he's prone and all jacked up. But yeah, I'll make the shot.
All right, make the shot. Okay, you still hit, and the bullet will enter the twitching body, and there's not an explosion of blood, not that there was from the bullet before or even the impact wound, but something is oozing out of the body in this reaction to my turn, which is going to be just sort of jittering on the floor. Now, Kincaid, you're seeing this. That falls outside the realm of your vampire knowledge. I mean, they can take some hits because of their particular fortitude. This is nothing that is within your knowledge.
That Buffy show didn't show me anything like this.
We come back around to
Different
Dr.
place.
Kent, and then we have Bernard proper, and then we have Fragment.
Question. Do I see this body twitching?
Oh yeah,
Or am
yeah,
I-
it's flopping.
Is it got that green stuff coming out of it, like I've seen before?
It's not green. There is some sort of blood. If you want to examine it from either close or afar, you may. You've seen that he's been shot twice, and there's like a cave in the skull. But I will say, Dr. Kent, you are getting very familiar vibes.
Oh, that's what worries me. Okay. Nobody else is around the body at the moment, so I'm going to use one of my talents called Dangerous Stuff, which means I can take leftover science things, just leftover goo, slam it together and make a grenade with it. And I can choose the type of damage it does at the time that I do this. I'm going to choose fire. And I'm going to lob a fire grenade at this undead thing.
Sure.
So I need to roll d20 plus 5.
Is this a what is it for you? A plan?
It's a talent. It's a feat action that I do.
Okay. So, but it's not a consumable from your spell slots.
No.
Okay.
No, nothing like that.
All right.
d20 plus 5. I don't have this set up. +12 + 5 is 17 to hit.
Okay, that will. Because you were working on Casimir, some of Casimir's fluids are still around, or things that you scavenged. Whatever, there's like an oil can or some leftover gasoline or something else.
An oil can activates.
You hurl it over, and
I'm doing fire. Let's see, it's going to be a d6 for damage. Not much, but it is fire. Ooh, max damage. And if it matters, I was trying to aim for the head area.
all of you see this twitching body ignite, and it starts to scream. Not from the mouth, but it's screaming from the caved-in wound in its head, and it's also screaming from the bullet holes inside, as if they are little mouths.
That's new. Definitely make a mental note of that.
So, Bernard, you're 5 feet away from this happening. What are you doing?
He's a bit thrown off, but he wants to put this thing down as best he can. So I'm going to make a step over, making sure put my body between the creature and Miss Kent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to attempt I'm going to attempt to basically stomp this guy's head in.
Okay.
And with him being prone, does that mean I get advantage?
He is also on fire. That you might set yourself on fire too. This is a chemical fire from an accelerant, so while it is raining, there is still a risk as well.
Yeah, I'll take the risk.
Not to mention, water is not a great thing to put on a gasoline.
Okay, make a melee attack at advantage. It's not especially trying to get out of the way, and it's prone. This is a melee attack.
Okay, that
Yep.
would be 18 plus 5, so 23.
All right. This is very much a this is very much a coup de grace. You are able to crush this thing.
With max
it's head
damage.
like a melon here. I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw now, please, as you pop this thing, and it is splattering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get any on ya.
Okay. Bernard, you go for like a big, just like Isaac from Dead Space stomp, and
That's exactly what was in my head when I made that decision.
The skull shatters. It was already damaged because of your mag light, and there is goo and brain matter that flies out, and you're able to like hop away in time, as it doesn't just splatter, but then you're seeing the splatter almost have little ripples like tendrils.
Good.
Fragment. It is your initiative. This is your fresh new hell. What are you doing?
Thankfully, most of this is in my peripheral.
Yeah, because you were looking forward. Yeah, you're over here.
So Fragment's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna keep an eye out for anything that might come out of some of these other buildings here. But there's very, very definitely a moment of like, looks over, nope, definitely glad my job's over here right now.
Okay. Come back over to Kincaid. Kincaid, any words of wisdom or actions of also wisdom, however that works? Whatever, you're a Renaissance man.
I am not a wisdom hero. That's why I took Renaissance, so I could use intelligence instead. And intelligence is telling me that everybody could get back on the bus, because we don't want to be here if more of those people show up.
Are you hopping in Casimir then?
Yep, I am hopping in Casimir, and I am taking position at the top light machine gun.
Got it. All right. Kind of in a central area there. All right, got it.
And just trying to keep an overwatch and see if anybody, if there's any kind of like spotlight or something on the gun. To help with sighting.
Not
or
a
if you were
spotlight,
really nice,
but
there'd be like
this
a
is
night
happening
vision
in the we'll say like the high beams of so high beams would be like dark vision because you can see in the dark with the high beams. So Casimir does in fact have dark vision. Dark vision's activated, so you can see. Comes back around to me then, and with a last miserable. A bunch of sizzles and little pops and bubbles, and as the thing was twitching violently before, it is no longer twitching or moving. The little strands that were freed from the skull aren't even kind of like glooping or inching forward. It is a still and on fire mess.
Meat's definitely not back on the menu.
We are out of initiative, so you can say and do what you'd like in a freer time now.
So, Doc, is that normal for vampires? I don't mean the biting you part. I know that part's pretty much part and parcel of the vampire package.
He interacted with one other vampire, and I was trying to help him get better. I don't remember seeing anything like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's one more vampire than the rest of us have interacted with. I know it's one more than I've interacted with.
I mean, can I think back? Have I seen any of this kind of oozy grossness or like after death twitchiness? Do I haven't read anything about it? Considering I was trying to help my friend.
As you think back, yes, there is one example in particular that comes to mind. And so,
it was like the stuff that came out of him.
Newing here. Now, Newing was an accelerated example, though what was happening might have been some sort of early stage of this, transformation, possession, assimilation.
I will tell you this. The vampire friend of mine that I was trying to cure kinda blew up with this green gooey stuff coming out of him. But I don't know if that was from him or if it was something that got out and interacted with him in the lab. It was why the lab kind of blew up and I had to leave. I kind of feel guilty about that, to be honest.
Dr. Kent, you are welcome to keep this private if you want. Kincaid is welcome to have an opinion about a vampire bite. You being a medical professional, yeah, you were bitten by a vampire. You might perhaps carry vampirism, and however it manifests or however long, you could possibly have a countdown to that. But what might be more concerning is the fact that this was some sort of an infected vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Or
That's
a weird, an aberrant thing. And
like the vampirism is interacting with whatever turned that person into a tree. And it's made something even more horrible.
We need to get to the kid.
Yeah, definitely. I will hop into the vehicle and take a look at the medical supplies that are in there. Is there anything that I can use to feel a little better?
well, remember there's no lab equipment aboard Casimir. There was whatever kit. If you remember when you were grabbing stuff, I said if you had a med kit or something, you could bring a kit with you. But there's no... Med Bay is pulling the recline seat button and having someone lay back.
Okay, in that case, I will spend one of my genius points and give myself an adrenaline shot. It'll give me temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus my intelligence modifier. So 2d6 plus 3. But it's temporary hit points, and when they go away, I don't have them anymore. So 10 points I get. It's temporary.
Okay, so you're floating those.
Yep.
Everyone's loading back up aboard the land shark.
Yep. John will be tucking his 9mm away, slam his laptop closed, crawl into the driver's seat. Software looks up and running to spec, at least most of it.
I think I will keep to myself for now the concerns I have about potentially being infected. I want to wait and see if I actually develop symptoms. Maybe I'll be lucky.
Okay.
So Kincaid's going to notice Dr. Kent injecting yourself with something. Her eyes suddenly widen. She gets color back in her face, and Kincaid just kind of leans down. Hey, got to spare one of those?
Maybe. Are you almost dead?
I could pretend.
I was really badly bitten back there, and I don't feel good. So In order for me to function at all, I needed it.
Yeah, I say the same thing too. It helps me function.
I'm not addicted. I'm not.
Okay, let me guess the next thing you're gonna say. I can stop anytime I want to.
I have to because I don't have very many of those I can do.
The crew aboard Casimir then will continue forward through the rain. The storm is letting up, especially as you're further from the coast. So the winds are being a little tamer, buffered even by the burnt ruins of these outskirt buildings. And you approach the lit up portion, the more modern looking portion of this old kind of a first city of Lacuna that was held in preservation as like a living museum, now perhaps a nest of undead, and where the child who is abducted by vampires is presumably being held. The vegetation is present but sparser because it's becoming more urbanized. So instead of just having, grass and fields and, like ditches filled with whatever grass and things that are growing, appropriate flowers and whatever the season, you're getting trees in planters and other things as you get close. A couple of them are dead and blighted as you're passing by, and as the street lights really start, there's it quickly is now, there are plants that are alive, there's just not a lot of them. And I would like for everyone except Bernard to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Oh, no.
That wasn't right. Is it this one? There we go.
Intelligence saving throws. That must be going in here. Oh, that was almost a 1. That was close.
All right. Bernard, everything is fine for you. You don't have to worry about anything.
Everything is possible.
Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't
I'm
matter.
both scared.
So
I'm both scared and relieved.
For Kincaid and John, both of you, as you're getting closer to the city, both of you feel really woozy. And for our doctor, you feel weird, but you aren't in a temporarily incapacitated state. Though, good doctor, you may wish to do something about the fact that your driver is slumped over the steering wheel right now.
Yeah, I use my first aid kit because one of the things I can do with it is cure a condition of sicken. If it's that, or poisoned, if it's that.
Yeah, if we start listing Bernard, since he's in the passenger seat,
Yeah.
up front, he'll reach over and try and keep us steady.
If nothing else, there's also unseen pilot. That's just a button you press. So,
Yep.
and then the car just sort of continue. It has a vague semblance of intelligent driving. It won't win a race, or it won't do super complex stuff, but it can it can not crash.
It won't do a barrel roll.
And what we'll do is as the doctor rushes forward, and by that just sort of like leans over from the back seat, like, hey, he kind of gives you yeah.
Wake up. Shake him by the shoulders.
Pulls
Eddie, are
the
you
smell.
okay? Can you cough?
Pulls out the smell. Pulls out the smelling salts.
It says here I need to make a medicine check at base DC is 10, but you can decide whether that's going to be worse or better.
No, that's fine for this. Really the urgent thing was what were you doing about the car perhaps being out of control. But with unseen pilot turned on, and Bernard can also just be the scene pilot, you're able to slow down Casimir. You can pull off to the side here, and you can help the other two come around.
Yes,
In your
don't worry about
professional
the person
opinion,
falling asleep at the machine gun.
yeah, one slumps over the steering wheel, the other falls asleep, and the machine gun just tilts down into the into the crew pit there.
That's not the kind of dysfunction we want to have. There's pills for the other kind.
This was. You felt woozy, Dr. Kent. For the other two of you, this was a weird kind of a fainting spell. A weird, almost you felt disconnected for a moment in however that manifests for you. But I'm talking to a hacker and an engineer, so I don't know. You come up with what disconnected feels like.
You know, I pretty much figured John is probably like he's there, and then he just feels like, you know how you know when you're gonna fall asleep. And just like that just happened, like a little. And then he went out, and then as he comes to, he's like, "Oh, so I was not on a beach in Bermuda." Understood. Right. We had a mission. What's happening? Oh, okay. Good. We did not crash. Thank you.
You're kind of driving, Bob.
Yeah, I was, wasn't I? I sure was. I was driving.
So something strange has happened, though, Bernard, again, you're fine.
Nothing ever bothers Bernard.
No. Calm and cool. Let's do that, and we're going to move this to the back.
Hey, Kincaid. What did you dream about?
Cheap booze on the boat to Sugar Candy Mountain.
Electric sheep.
I mean, that's pretty much the same dream I was having. I just wasn't on a boat.
I thought it'd probably have something to do with your beans, but you know.
Beans are long gone by now. Premium beans like those just don't sit around.
He's just a has-been.
John, as you have come to after this event, this was a larger version of a weird tickle that you felt in the battle with the vampire back in the outskirts.
Okay.
When you enacted your plan, there was just I don't know, maybe a side thought, a weird kind of distraction. This was a magnification of that, such that you kind of zoned out there for a moment. As you entered the city proper, there was just it wasn't a tickle that you had felt and were easily able to put aside and overcome, because I mean there's a life-threatening situation going on. But what you experienced was an amplification of that.
Okay.
What we'll do is, while you mull this over, let's get up and take about a 5 or so minute break. Everyone, use the restroom, or you all in the audience or my players can put some clues together, as we are now very close to this tower. We've entered the city proper. The city is different. It is lit up. Things haven't been burnt, and there is vegetation here, unlike there was out in the outskirts part of this city. Though, much like the outskirts, there's nobody here. not that people should live here, but even if it was supposedly a nest of vampires, even ones that were armed with machine guns and rocket launchers, there is nobody. The place is very much museum-like. The lights are on. Things look like they should be, as this is an example of how far Lacuna has come from its very simple origins to its advances in culture and technology. The closer you're getting to this tower, it's a nice sort of drive-through memorial of advancement. But after passing that threshold, 3/4 of the party experienced a weird outcome. One had a reminder of the battle, the other was able to kind of ride that wave, and Bernard just seemed fine. I'll let you all ponder that as we get up and we take a break. And when we come back, well, there's a tower ahead, and we'll see what they're able to figure out and what they're able to do when they get there. We'll be right back, everyone.